Hey everyone, it's Kate at Finding Cooper's Voice. Hope everyone's having a great day. I asked Jamie to do a video with me today because I'm going to talk about some super hard stuff, and it's hard to be one person talking to 50,000 people alone. So he often has some really good perspective from the dad point of view about autism and has no problem telling me when I'm wrong. So we'll see what his thoughts are. So, when your kiddo is diagnosed on the spectrum, I feel like as parents, we go through so many cycles of grief and sadness and acceptance. And even just accepting that you're going through those is hard at first because you feel like you're letting your kiddo down and you're a terrible person because this is so hard. And admitting that makes you feel like a bad parent, and it doesn't. And that's the purpose of this blog, is to talk about how when you find out your kid has a disability, it changes everything. Even if you fight for it not to, which we did. We tried to maintain normal as long as we could. But the two big realities I want to talk about today. So we took our two kiddos camping over the weekend. Jamie went for 4 days, and Cooper and I followed later for just one night. And it was with Jamie's huge extended family. I think there was 40 people there, from what I've heard, and many kiddos, and two that are actually Cooper's same age. One's just days apart. And when you have a kiddo that's not meeting milestones, you start to really grieve the baseball games and the soccer games and the play dates and all the things that don't happen. And it's very confusing when you see kids the exact same age doing all the same things, or the things that your child should be doing. First day of kindergarten and going school shopping, all those things. And one day it will dawn on you, a big reality, that it's you that's sad, not your child. We just said over the weekend, Cooper is the happiest kid ever. He just wants to watch his Kindle and watch his shows, and he doesn't need anything else in the world. And that's really hard to accept as a parent, because as people, you think that you need to do things and have fun, and that's what life is about.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really confusing. So you get over that hurdle. I think I'm over that hurdle. I accept that Cooper isn't going to do the things that I think and hope that he will do. And I can now see him next to kids that are the exact same age, and my child will be hitting himself in the face, and the other kids will be talking in fluid sentences, playing games, or running around biking, and you have to get over that. And I think we have. It took 7 years. I mean, for me, it did. The second huge reality that you have to accept that is that your life is going to be completely different than the one you pictured. You may be a family that, I always like to give examples, you may be a family that skis, or a family that's outdoors, or whatever. You know, if we had two typical children, I think we'd probably be camping every weekend and in a boat and going out to restaurants a lot. I think we're very active people. We're not TV people, and we're pretty isolated here. So you just have to accept that the life that you wanted and hoped for and strive for, you're not going to have.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough reality. Um,
A lot of the stuff we can do, it just takes so much planning.
well,
If it's the three of us,
so
then we have to have somebody take Cooper, which is, if it's camping with my family, it's a little tougher because those individuals are all there. So.
well, and then finding, yeah, we can talk about that in a second. um, so this weekend, um, Cooper and I missed 2 days of the camping trip. He had school and he just can't handle it for that long. And that's hard. My 4-year-old's running around having a blast with his cousins, and I want to be there, but that's fine. I stayed back. I worked. Cooper had therapy. We went up Saturday morning, and I planned for everything on the road trip. I was like, I got snacks and iPads and movies downloaded. I was just ready to rock. And we encountered 45 minutes of stop and go traffic, and Cooper, that doesn't make sense in his world. And he, for 45 minutes, rocked our vehicle and beat his head on the window and beat him. How he does not get a bloody nose sometimes is beyond me. And there is nothing I can do. I'm in 3 lanes of traffic. So what do? I call dad and yell at him.
Yeah.
Because the stress of it.
Make me feel helpless.
Because I'm so helpless. And where my mind immediately goes is, why are you with Sawyer having an amazing time? And I am once again stuck in this helpless situation with this kid that's making life so hard. That's how I feel. That's where I'm human. That's where my brain goes. We got there. The 3-hour trip took longer than it was supposed to. And we rented a camper. So for my one hater that sent me the death threats because she thinks that I am rich and own an RV, we do not. We rented it for the weekend. Had to get that in there. And right away, Cooper wanted to be in the camper watching his Kindle, which is fine.
It's completely normal for Cooper.
Yep. So this is what I was trying to explain today in my post. And I'm not comparing him to his sibling or comparing him to other kids of the same age. Cooper is Cooper. Cooper is an extremely selfish kid. He's adorable and amazing, and I love him, and he's our world, but he is an extremely selfish kid. So no matter where we go, so if we go to a movie, Cooper's going to do exactly what Cooper wants to do. He's going to watch his Kindle. If we're at a park, he doesn't really see the play equipment. He may walk on it. So think about taking it, going somewhere, you adapt to your surroundings. Cooper does not adapt to his surroundings. He's not camping. He's watching his Kindle. That's all he's doing.
Doing the same thing he always does in a different place.
Yes, except we're in a completely unsafe place with an audience at all times, and Cooper loves an audience, and people
Cars, water.
Cars, water. And he demands that I be with him at all times. That's Cooper. He demands that I be there, and I want everyone to have a good time. So at first, I'm fine. I'll sit in the camper with you, Cooper. I'll go on my phone. I'll veg out because I haven't done that. And then it gets to the point where I want to sneak out of the camper, but he has to sneak out with me. He can't be in the camper alone because he just, in a weird way, he's social. He wants to be near people. It's so confusing. So the biggest struggle that I have is if I'm sitting in a camp chair, Cooper can't be sitting. He's not the type of kid that would sit next to us and go on his Kindle. He's wandering head down on his Kindle into traffic, into the woods. So what do? Let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk.
Follow Coop.
Cooper, but then Cooper can't walk. Then Cooper rolls on the ground because we've made it about walking. And he darts and he runs and he doesn't look where he's going. Okay, so let's sit back down. Constantly moving. Constantly. It's one of the most confusing behaviors that I don't know if other children on the spectrum have. I can't seem to find it in any other kid. I will see these kids on the spectrum and they're sitting in their own little world on their iPhone next to their mom and dad, and I'm like, oh, it's not fair. Because we're sweating and we're chasing. So I was able to sneak away for a walk with Sawyer, or a bike ride. We went for a bike ride, and Sawyer knew exactly where to go, and he took me for a bike ride, and we went on this path, and we were on this beach. And I was like, hey, pal, we should go back. And he's like, I don't want to go back. I'm mad that you came because you brought Cooper. And if we go back, we have to be by Cooper. And that's the worst thing a 4-year-old could ever say to you. He is so resentful of his brother. And as we were biking, I was watching my 4-year-old use this bike. He was like doing like little jumps, and I just got this like wave of emotion. I've missed so much of his life. Like I'm rarely ever with him because someone has to be with Cooper, and it often falls on me because there's often other reasons, like he needs help pooping or whatever, and it usually falls on me. And I just got so extremely resentful of my 6-year-old that I love more than anything in the whole entire world. But he's just so hard, and he has made life so difficult. Like and I know some people commented on that post that were like, well, maybe you're doing too much. It doesn't matter what the event is. It doesn't matter if the event is we're at a family, his parents for a barbecue, one of us is wandering behind Cooper.
Anything's too much unless we're at home. Really?
Yep. Everything is too much. And it's like
And staying at home is too much.
staying at home is too much.
So
So it's
find balance somehow. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
and we were sitting this morning and I was crying, which I'm actually not a crier, and I don't cry very often, do I?
Mm-mm.
And I burst into tears because I don't understand how we can do this for the rest of our life. You know, when Cooper was diagnosed, I jumped into autism, I think, more than anyone ever expected, which every mom should and dad should. And I was going to help this kid and I was going to give him the best life and I was going to do all this work and he will eventually get easier and it will eventually get better. And now, so my third point is I didn't realize that this was forever. I mean, maybe I did. Like, is he
Maybe
going to be
it's
30, 20, and he won't be able to safely walk from camper to camper?
As the older he gets, the reality sets in. But he's gonna be 7 in what, 3 months?
Yeah. And so what do you do? So we're sitting there and I'm crying and Jamie's a fixer. He's like, okay, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna help Mama out? She's losing her mind. So it's like, where does your mind go? Do you medicate? Do you try cannabis oil? Do you hire a para or a PCA to be with you 24 hours a day and get them their own dang camper so you can do something, or it doesn't matter what the event is. I just like to have examples. Do you pay someone your life savings to be with you? What are the answers when you are drowning in isolation? And the thought, what was going through my head was, I have the most amazing 4-year-old who is thriving at life, and he's resenting me because I spend all my time with Cooper. I mean, what's the answer to
Or
that?
Cooper takes up all your time, is what it is.
Yep.
Perfect example is tonight.
Yeah, I had some poop stuff tonight. God. But yeah, I don't know if anyone does have the answer, and I know that other parents feel this way, and that's why I like to talk about it, because you can give your life completely to your disabled child, and you can know you're doing the right thing, and you're giving them the best life possible, and this is your work, this is what you're supposed to be doing. But how do you deal with the emotions that go with it? It's the most confusing part.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get jealous of him. I'm angry at him that you're enjoying life. I watched out the camper window for 3 hours while Thomas the Train is blaring, and I watched you all have a good time. It's not fair. And even if someone takes a shift, Cooper's shifts are like what? I mean, 15 minutes? That's about the time he gives to something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the answers. I just know that it's not getting easier as it gets older. I think I accept the autism and I accept that our life is different. I just didn't know it was going to be so damn hard. Did you?
No.
Have any idea?
Mm-mm.
I know. So that's our video. We probably won't do anything for quite some time. I think after something like this happens, we try. And honestly, the weekend was a success. He really only had one major meltdown. He couldn't go in the lake when he wanted to. It was too choppy and we weren't in swimsuits. And I had to, physically carry him, his 70-pound body, while he's flailing and kicking through campgrounds. And everyone's like, whoa, what's going on over there? Like, they probably think he's being abused because he's such a bear when you're holding him. But honestly, if there's only 2 or 3 meltdowns, it's a huge success in our world. You just change your measures of success. I think what I'm struggling with, though, is the emotional side. I don't know. It's getting harder. Like, I just keep thinking, like, am I gonna miss all Sawyer's baseball games?
Of course not.
I don't know. Are you gonna take a second job to pay for the PCA to be with Cooper? This stuff's hard. That's why I talk about it.
We have family, they'll help. He can coach his team, and you have to be at every game.
That's just ridiculous. Okay, thank you everyone. If you understand, leave a comment. I use the word resentment, but I don't know if that's right. But I just feel like Sawyer resents me, and I'm starting to resent our situation. Not my son. We love our son more than anything, but
Mommy guilt.
everything is so damn hard. And you can only have a smile on your face for so long when your kid is the one always screaming, head hitting, running around. We're human. Yeah. Okay. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you. Bye.